Alright guys, welcome back to Half Rod's YouTube channel. So today is November 1st, 2025. It's Saturday. A new customer just left, but he dropped off a car and a few parts. So I'm getting ready to give you an introduction to the new project. I do have a video I need to get together on Steve's car and get posted, but I'm going to go ahead and just do a one and done deal today and get this one posted. But there will be a video coming up in a day or two on Steve's 55. It didn't get done because he had to leave to go out of town, but the oil pan was leaking again. So we ended up, both of us, redone it again. And anyway, it's in a video. I'll show all that here later, but it is alive and everything else. But we haven't driven it yet. He doesn't want me to drive it until he gets back. So anyway, this is a subscriber from my YouTube channel, seen my work, and he wanted me to do this conversion. So this is a 1955 Chevy Bel Air 4-door sedan, and it is going to be converted into a 2-door sedan with brand new 2-door quarters. So this is going to be a very nicely done conversion. So these are Golden Star 2-door sedan quarter panels, and I have to put them on the car and remove the beep. I have to do, there's a whole lot of work involved in this, but anyway, it'll be pretty straightforward. Basically, I am going to be doing roll up and down quarter windows like a real 2-door sedan, so that is something that I'm going to be getting to. There's going to be some fabrication required on that. But anyway, in case you're not familiar with 4-door to 2-door conversions, I know there's several on YouTube, but some of those channels I don't watch because I'm not into hackery. But anyway, on a 4-door Tri-5 Chevy in particular, the front doors are shorter than a 2-door. So the quarter panel should be about somewhere in here, we'll say. So the front of it anyway. So the door should be longer to meet that. But anyway, he did bring me the 4-door doors, and these doors are extremely nice. They're not even rusty underneath, and he told me I could keep those after, if I use the parts that I need to use out of them on his car, but I can basically keep the leftovers, which is really awesome. So this does have some trunk floor issues back here. It's all pushed up and it's all broken to pieces, and he's got a brand new full trunk floor right here. So I'm going to be taking all of this out and plug welding it back in here like factory. So this is going to be a really fun project, man. I'm really digging it. But anyway, he basically wants me to do all the metal stuff on it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not doing bodywork, paint, interior, engine, tranny, wiring, nothing. All I am doing is the metal side of it. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward little gig, you know what I mean? Not so time consuming. And then he said he had another one he wanted to do, but not with 2-door quarter panels. He wants to skin the rear doors down and scab them in, which I've done before. But anyway, pretty excited about this, man. It's going to be a heck of a neat deal. This car, it's not in too bad a shape, man. I'm kind of impressed with it. It does have some bad, like the trunk floor right there, but there's the fix for that right there. And the quarter panels are both pretty rough back here in the back corners, but these are getting cut off anyway. But the roof's nice. The floors are pretty good. It's got like a rip in it right there. That's not really rusted. It's kind of torn looking. But I did find a little bit of rust up in here, so this is pretty thin. We may have to put a floor pan there, I don't know, but these fronts I think will be okay. I just need to get in here and mess with it a little bit, clean everything up and work it over, but it's got some rust right here, so I'll have to patch that up. So the stuff I do will be, nicely butt welded. The metal finish will be all finished out nice, hammered, dollied, and worked over, so it's not going to be a warped up, take 5 gallons of body filler to fix it type of rig. I'm excited, man. It's got a this quarter molding over here is not too bad. This one is actually kind of nice. This is a Bel Air rear quarter molding right there, and I didn't even see any dents in it. I'm sure there probably is, I just don't see one, but it looks okay, and he said I could have those as well, so I may actually use that one there on my wife's car. But anyway, he's going to turn this, we're turning this into a 150 series 55 Chevy. And if you don't know what a 150 series is, they had a 150 series, which was bottom of the barrel. They had a 210 series, which is middle of the road. And then they had a Bel Air, which was, you know, high end, all the fancy trim and all the bells and whistles. He wants to convert this to a 150 series. So what that means is there's not going to be any stainless around the windows, no stainless around on the belt line or any of that stuff. No side trim on it. It's going to be all plain, and luckily these quarter panels are not drilled for quarter moldings, so that is freaking awesome. So it's going to be cool, man. So he brought this door, and this door is actually pretty good. He said he has a pair for a 55 two-door sedan, and he's going to bring those. So anyway, I guess this is going to go on the other car. I was trying to deal him out of that for my two-door post project, but he's got that other car to do as well. So that is pretty much the project there. Deck lid, I need to get it out and really look it over, but got a little bit of rust right there, a little bit of rust right there. So I've got some little patch stuff to do as well, but I mean, for the most part, it'll be pretty straightforward, but it'll be fun stuff, man. Oh, he's already put it on. Excuse me, he's already put it on energy suspension urethane body mounts. It's all bolted down, so that is really awesome. I am going to go ahead and set a small block Chevy in here with a transmission just for the weight. I'm just pretty much going to lay it down in here and just kind of probably ratchet strap the bottom of the transmission up so it doesn't fall. That way it has the weight on it, and when I do my, you know, my gaps and everything, it should stay the same afterwards. When he puts his engine and transmission later, it'll go in and all the gaps should match perfectly. But anyway, it's just the way I do it. Everybody's different, but I have my own way of doing things. It's going to be a 327 and a 5-speed transmission that he's putting in it. It's going to be painted yellow. He's putting on black steel wheels with the dog dish caps on it. I think it'll be really neat. It's going to be an old school looking car. He's run into somebody that has I guess the seats, the two-door seats. So he's going to try to get that so it'll have the bench seat in it if he gets them. So it won't be bucket seats or nothing like that, but I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, that is the introduction to the new project car. Oh, he did bring me some parts here as well. So there's all the interior garnish moldings. I've got front and rear window regulators. Got tracks, access panels. He brought quarter windows. And of course he's going to put brand new glass in it. This stuff is just for mock-up so I can use it to get the car put together. But he's got the rear corner tracks and all that for the rear. So he's got some real two-door sedan stuff here that I can obviously get in here to make it work. Because if you're ever thinking about doing one of these 4-door to 2-door conversions, there is an area of it that you have to put a little thought process in, and I can show you that. So right now I'm sitting in my 2-door post car, and if you're going to make a quarter window roll up and down like factory, you'll have to build this whole deal here and know the screw locations and all this stuff for all that to go in and actually work properly. So I'm going to be going up against this deal here. Now these, everywhere the screws go in on these back panels, like you can't just put flat metal in there and then screw your window tracks and all that stuff to it, because all these areas are sunk in. So you can do flat metal. I would definitely put some access beads or access panel in it and roll some beads in it for strength so it doesn't vibrate when it's idling. But to sink that, you'll either need to do like a dimple die without, you know, drilling a hole in it, or use some spacers that is the depth from there to there to space all this stuff out. So I may buy a dimples die set just to indent that to make that work, but I know where a Pontiac 2-door sedan is, and I'm going to go see if I can cut it up or see how much the whole car is, and maybe me and him can split it, and I'll cut all this section out and put in his car so this will all properly look correct and work right. And that Pontiac has a good door on it that I can replace this rusty mess with. This door is pretty wasted on this car, as you can see. I definitely need a passenger side 2-door sedan door for this car. The driver's side one is pretty rough, but I can repair it But this one here would take hours and hours of repair to fix. So I'm not the guy that has money to go buy a brand new door, but anyway. All right, so it's been about an hour, and I got the quarter panels removed from their cardboard boxes, and I've got them installed. Well, I put them in my house in my spare bedroom. I did have to rearrange the room a little bit, but since Steve's car is pretty much done, a lot of the stuff that I'd been stored in there for his car is not in there anymore, so I actually had a little bit of room. These boxers are just too big to lug around, and they're kind of deformed. They look like they've gotten moisture and stuff to them, but they're just too bulky with those, so I just took them in there like they were, just raw, and leaned them up against the wall in there. Now I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with them big ass boxes. I don't know if my trash truck will take those or not. I may have to bribe them with some money or something when they come out here. I'll try that. But anyway, I think I pretty much covered everything on the car. I'll just kind of give a little bit better of a walk around on the car, so you kind of know what I'm up against here. Hopefully you're on board to watch. And again, I know there's lots of other YouTubers that's done 4-door to 2-door conversions, but I was doing 4-door to 2-door conversions before anything was on YouTube like that. Not that I'm an expert, but I've done 2 before. But I don't need to, basically what I'm saying is I don't need to go watch somebody else's video on how to do it. I know how to do it. But tail pan's in really nice shape on this car too. Looks like the rear brace is good as well. Trunk floor's coming out, so there's no third member in the rear end. It just has axles in it. Man, that's gonna make a nice. That's gonna make a nice car, guys. It's gonna make a really, really nice car. It's kind of funny. My Uncle Wayne, he is no longer living. He was a die-hard 55 Chevy guy. Like back in the 70s, he had a lot of 55s, and actually rolled a gold 2-door hardtop 55 Chevy drag racing a Super Bee, and that was back in probably 77, 78, 79, somewhere in there. And the roof was actually, the roof itself on that hardtop was on the seat. Like this whole side was down. That side was still up, but this side was down. And anyway, he was a die-hard 55 Chevy guy, and he swore, now this, we're talking back a few decades ago, he swore that those coral colored 55s didn't rust. Now obviously we know they do, but I gotta tell you, I've had a couple of coral cars, and he may be onto something. Maybe there's something in that paint that's I don't know, man. But anyway, it's kind of funny. When I built a lot of 55s, and I built 2 2-door posts, and then I ended up building a 4-door. And I actually owned another 4-door that I just drove every day. It was Primer, and I just drove it every day for like 2 years. It was my only car I ever had, so that was my transportation. And I drove to his house in that 4-door one day, and he walked out there to look at it, and he goes, "Shouldn't be messing with them parts cars." So to him, 4-doors were parts cars. And it ain't like that anymore, I tell you right now. But it was funny that he said that all the time. He always razzed me about having them 4-door cars. It was 2-door or nothing, and I think it's just the age group, you know, back in the 70s or whatever, when he was driving them cars, you know. They turned classics in the 70s, and there was a big craze back then. I remember because my mom and dad restored one in 1977 and 78. But anyway, he ended up, my Uncle Wayne, this was probably, I don't even know, like 12 years ago maybe, somewhere in there. My years run together anymore, so somewhere around there, he got the itch to get another 55 because he hadn't had one since probably the 1982, 81. He probably hadn't had one since then. Well, he got the itch to go buy one. Well, he figured out that how expensive 2-door cars were, so he ended up having to get a 4-door, and he bought a 4-door Bel Air 55, and it's a pretty nice car, a V8 automatic car, and somebody had redone it and stuff. And Anyway, the first time I seen it, I walked up to him and I go, "What are you doing driving a parts car?" And I laughed. I was just basically saying it because he told me that. And he goes, "There ain't nothing wrong with four doors. When you're sitting in the front seat, you don't see the other two doors behind you." And that's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly right. However, I do not feel that way. I think they all need to be saved. You know what I mean? Some of them you can't, but you get what I'm saying. Four doors, they're a little bit more acceptable today than what they used to be. There are so many four-door cars on the road nowadays versus two-door. But you know, back in the day, it was two-door with everything. But I mean, they had four doors, but it was just two doors were the dominant thing. And now I think four doors are the dominant thing. And they're actually the practicality of it. You know what I mean? But anyway, this one is getting new life put into it. And it's not just going to be a parts car, it's going to be turned into a car, but it is going to be a two-door. So I hope you guys are on board. I'm going to go ahead and put these clips together for this car and post this video, and then I'll work on tonight the video clips for Steve's car that I've been working on the last week. Anyway, it's going to be gone, but we had an oil pan leak issue and ended up reselling that oil pan that same day that we found the leak. But I still haven't put oil back in it yet because I want to make sure everything's dry and good and all that. But he doesn't want me driving it until he gets back. So anyway, Steve's car I think is just about ready to go home, other than we need to take it out and road test it and see what issues may arise. It may not have any issues, it may have 100 issues. But the way the car's been fighting me the whole build, I'd be surprised if it didn't have issues, you know what I mean? But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated.